Hey, Tubies, surprise! Look where I am. Different setting, huh? You know where I am? I'm at my mom's house. That's right. Well, you know I have this motto. Have Louis Vuitton bag, will travel. And, you know, ever since I got my Louis Vuitton bag, which I'm crazy about, I've just been having an urge to just go places spontaneously. And I don't know if it's a Louis Vuitton bag, but I'll tell you one thing, it certainly helps make a trip more enjoyable. So I packed up my Louis Vuitton bag, I slung it over my shoulder, and I went train hopping, and here I am down at my mom's. I'm so glad to be with you guys. Well, you know, I tell you, here it is, it's Tuesday, it's time for messages from the spirit world. And I know that I'm a little late getting this up, but as I said, I've been traveling today. And I'm still recovering my voice, so bear with me. But I want to give a big shout out and say thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. We had such a good time. Yesterday, we went out to, yesterday we did horoscopes for the week. So if you didn't see yesterday's video, check that out. We covered all 12 zodiac signs, and it was a lot of fun. I had a good time. So thank you. Guys rock. You haven't seen that? Check it out. It's in the queue right before this one. Well, it's time for messages from the spirit world. We're going to get into all this in a minute. But before we get into this, I just have a few things I want to say. If you want to get in on messages from the spirit world, it is free. Just put your questions in the comments box below, or you can write to me at readings@robert-hickman.com. I'll put the link in the info box below. It's my official email. As I said, there's no charge for messages from the spirit world. Now, understand, I get hundreds and hundreds of letters, so I may not get to personally write to everybody, and I'm not trying to be hateful. It's just more than I can deal with right now. But I am trying to get through the letters. I do personally read all of them, though. And so, have some patience. Psychic Bob's going to help you. And I always say, you know, really listen to everybody's letter, even if yours doesn't get read, because Spirit might work through somebody else's letter to give you some insight and help. And that's how Spirit works. They want to reach as many people as they can. So I hope you'll be patient with Psychic Bob. And I really appreciate all your wonderful support. Thanks for being here. You guys rock. Well, before we get into the letters, let's all just take a moment. I want everybody to settle down. Let's just center ourselves and let's attune to the spirit world. Okay. I hear my spirit guide Fletcher back here. He says hello to all of you. All right. I'm going to put on my glasses. Can't see here. Our first letter tonight is from Susan Kern. And Susan writes, she says, Dear Psychic Bob, can you tell me if I will ever be able to understand and reconcile my relationship with my beautiful daughter? Her name is Stephanie. Thank you. Hi, Susan. You know, hon, in a nutshell, the answer is yes. There is going to be healing there. But I have to tell you right now, as I step into both of your vibrations, I get pink light around each of you, which means that you're both still feeling very sensitive. And I feel that there's a block here in communications. It's like she says one thing, you say another, and I feel like your words are bypassing each other. And I don't say that to be critical. I don't think anybody's trying to be difficult, but I do feel there is a miscommunication problem. One of the things I would like you to try to do, if not for her, at least for you, is try to work with the gemstone aquamarine. Aquamarine has a way of opening the throat chakra. It allows the channeling process to occur more readily. And if you could give her an aquamarine gemstone to wear, it could be a pendant or a ring or a bracelet, something aquamarine. I prefer it be a necklace simply because it's closer to the throat chakra. And that's where the healing needs to take place in the communications. But if you can't, for whatever reason, reach out to her and give her that, do it for yourself, okay? Because I feel like your intent as a mother is very powerful. I do see healing for you. I have to be honest, I don't see it till early next year. Probably around January, February is where I feel there's going to be a kind of a healing bridge made. And I think that your daughter loves you very much, even if she doesn't realize it. And of course, I know that you love her. And sometimes, even with the people we're closest to, there is the greatest amount of pain. Try to understand this. I believe that you and your daughter are part of the same soul group. That means you've had other lifetimes together, you've traveled through lifetimes. So some of the conflict sometimes is karmic. And I'm not saying as a way to pass off responsibility, because there's clearly stuff in this life that needs worked on. But sometimes these rifts go deeper than the moment. And when each side wakes up and says, you know what? We're holding on to stuff from the past. Not just this life, but from other lifetimes. It allows a clearing. So I'd like you to meditate on your past life soul connection to her. I feel that you guys actually go back to the time of Atlantis. So I think you've been around a lot of lifetimes. And I know there was a more recent lifetime, looks like in the 1920s with you and her. And so I feel like there's some leftover karma from that life as well. But if you work with aquamarine, that will help to open lines of communication. And as I said, it's probably not going to be till early next year, till January, February 2018. But around that time, I do see a bridge being made. And I do feel that even though it may be tenuous at first, it will grow more solid. So have faith, have hope, and have love, okay? But I want you to work with that gemstone. And I want you to practice what you would say to her. And you know, even if you can't talk to her in person for whatever reason, you can talk to her spirit. So you look inside of her yourself, you visualize her holding the aquamarine or wearing it near your throat. I want you to talk to her spirit, because you still have a soul link. Even if she denies in this life and doesn't want anything to do with you right now, your soul link is still there, and that won't ever go away, okay? So you talk to her spirit, and then when you talk to her in person, it'll be funny. Watch her face, because she'll be like on, like it's going to be weird, and you'll say, what's wrong? She'll say, this is so weird, I'm having deja vu. And she'll think, how is this possible? Well, it's because on a soul level, she's already received your message, okay? I hope that helps a little bit. I'm sending prayers your way. Okay, keep me posted. All right. Our next letter is from, I can't read my notes here, Joshua Brian B. Hello, Joshua Brian B. Joshua B. says, hi, Psychic Bob. I just want to ask what you see in my future, because lately I've been feeling uneasy about my life. Also, what about romance? When will I meet him, the one? Hi, Joshua Brian B. You know what's happening right now, what I get around you is I step into your vibration. I get also, interestingly, like Susan before, some pink light here. And I also get some lavender light around you and purple light, deeper purple, royal purple. What these colors mean is that you're doing a lot of release right now. You're doing a lot of pain release from your past. And you're at a crossroads where you're actually doing a lot of healing now. And the wonderful thing is, I feel like as we go through the next 2 to 3 months here, you're going to not feel that sense of uneasiness. There's going to be a sense of, I have control. I feel like particularly this last year around you, Joshua Brian B., that you've been feeling out of control. It's like everything in life's happened to you. And I feel like now you're entering a place where you happen to life. And see, that's a real shift of energy here. You have lavender light around you, which tells me that you have an empathic ability. And I feel like part of what's going on is that you're literally absorbing the vibrations and tensions of everybody around you on top of your own anxiety. So it's a little overwhelming. I would suggest meditation every day to ground yourself down. I would like you to put a bowl of salt, just like regular table salt or sea salt, by your bed at night, because I feel that you need a better rest cycle. And I think with a better rest cycle, you're going to see things more clearly. And salt is a purifying element that pulls negative energy out of the air. So if you're feeling anxious at night, it kind of sucks it out of the room and holds and traps it. So I'd like you to do that, okay? Now, in terms of romance for you, I feel around April of this year there's going to be a relationship for you. I don't know if it's the person you're going to marry, but I do see a very nice guy coming to you. He has a lot of spiritual energy around him. I get lavender around him as well, which means he has an empathic ability. And I feel like that you two meet. Interestingly, it's at an event. It might even be like a book fair. Like I keep seeing stalls and tables of books. So I feel like it's at a book fair. And you might be looking for spiritual books or antique spiritual books. And I feel it's like y'all just see each other. It's like you communicate mind to mind. So that'll be this spring. And I do feel you'll enter into a relationship. And I think that timing will be best for you. So I would encourage you, take it slow, work on healing yourself. I think by April you'll be ready for love, okay? Hope that helps. Thanks for writing. All right. Our next letter is from Oracle Jen. Hi, Oracle Jen. She's a regular here. Good to see you. Oracle Jen writes, Dear Psychic Bob, ever since I got enlightened in 2012, I've had episodes where the energies were too much. During these episodes, I ended up literally throwing away material items. Most of the time, these were beautiful, valuable items, even divination items. It was like I was punishing myself, even though I didn't do anything wrong. And the punishment was in getting rid of things that I love dearly. Please help me with this. With love and gratitude, Jen. Jen, my heart goes out to you. Because what you're dealing with is you've got kind of two different issues going on here. One is an obsessive compulsive disorder, okay? And I feel that this obsessive compulsive disorder really stems back to childhood around you. I feel that somewhere somebody made you feel less than, that you didn't deserve something. And I feel like that's been a recurring cycle, like I'm not worthy to receive. The other thing is that, as you said, in 2012 you became enlightened. This means that you opened powerfully, spiritually, and psychically. But sometimes when we open psychically too quickly, it can overwhelm the nervous system. And it can produce things like anxiety. Okay? So if you have an anxiety issue because your nervous system is overstimulated, and then you have an obsessive compulsive tendency, I wouldn't say full-blown disorder, but tendency that comes over since childhood, it can really mess up the circuitry of the body, mind, and spirit. And I feel like why you punished yourself was that was somebody who as a child told you you weren't worthy. And so you've chosen to embrace that message. And I want you to try to be open to changing that message, because the truth of the matter is you are a child of the divine and you are more than worthy. You are loved by Almighty God and Goddess, however you call the divine. You are loved by that power. And it doesn't really matter what the earthly people say. Those who criticize you, those who attack you, they don't know you. Not really. They may even be relatives, but they don't truly know you. And so you have to define reality for yourself apart from anybody else's definition, even mine. I want you to look within and find what you hold dear. In regards to the material items, they are symbols of success. And on another level, because of your anxiety, you have a fear of success. And so when the universe wants to give you great blessings, terror sets in. And people say, well, I'm getting everything I want in life. It's beautiful. I'm having success. Why am I terrified? Well, I can tell you, because as humans, we've been programmed very much by our Judeo-Christian culture. I'm not knocking on anybody's religion, but I have to be honest. The Judeo-Christian culture, on a subtle level, tells everybody, one, you're flawed, you're sinful. Two, God's wrath is on you. And three, you don't deserve pleasure. And if you have pleasure, that's sinful. So some of your past, perhaps religious programming, even if you didn't go to church, it's in our culture. A lot of people say, well, I'm not religious. I don't believe in any of that Bible stuff. But yet, people don't realize that our underlying subtle vibration of our culture is based on Judeo-Christian culture. Now, for example, as a Wiccan, when I started studying Wicca, one of the things my teacher made me do was evaluate parts of my life were influenced by Judeo-Christian culture. And it wasn't as a judgment like, oh, Judeo-Christian culture is bad, but it was made for me to understand how my viewpoints up to that point had been influenced. Wicca takes a kind of a very different perspective on material reality. We don't see material things as sinful or bad, or pleasures of the flesh as bad. We see all of this as part of life that is granted to us by the divine and is shared in joy. And so to wake up, to allow myself to have luxury, to allow myself to have joy, was something I actually had to work on in my life. You know, that's why today, you know, as I showed you earlier, my Louis Vuitton bag. It's a little extravagant. Is it really necessary? No. But I love it. And I've allowed myself to have joy. And I don't care what anybody else says. You see? I'm free from other people's expectations. And as you develop your soul and you let go of past judgments and develop your own set of beliefs, then you'll have freedom. Okay? So I think this is where it's coming from. One of the things I would also recommend you to do is work on grounding every day. Because when you get in that place where you want to start throwing everything away and getting rid of everything, something in you is triggering you that is imbalanced and you're not grounded. So you become irrational. And so when you feel yourself going to that place, you've got to know what that trigger is and bring yourself down. Okay? I personally feel, now I don't want to speak for you, but I feel that I would like you to look within yourself to messages you received as a child, and particularly see if there are any church teachings that have crept into your life as a younger person that are still in the background playing. Because somewhere there's a record playing inside of you that's telling you all of these negative messages. And you have to root that record out. And that can only be done by you. As a psychic, I can pinpoint to some things, but I feel like the greatest work, you'll have the most success if you really work on this. But I do see it as an anxiety disorder and a obsessive compulsive. And for a while, you may even want to see a professional therapist to understand how those triggers work, okay? Fortunately, I do see healing for you. And I feel like even since you've written this letter, you've started to do some of that work. And that's what's wonderful. So keep working on that. I'm going to send healing prayers to you. I'd also like you each night, if you can, light a candle. If you can get a white candle, I want you to anoint it with vanilla oil, okay? And burn that. And as you smell that vanilla oil and that candle, watch it candle, let yourself be healed inside. Let that soft scent, that soft light bring healing. And you'll start to find balance. Make it a ritual. Every day make it a ritual. If you start to go to that compulsive place, sit down with that candle. Don't allow yourself to do any action. You might even want to combine that with doing an herbal bath. Chamomile is a wonderful bath. Get a chamomile herb, soak it in your bath. Take a bath in chamomile herb. This will also calm the nervous system, okay? And as you breathe out all that compulsion and tension. Okay. I hope that helps. Keep me posted. Blessings to you. All right. Let's see here. Our next letter is from Monica Michael, or Monica Michelle. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Monica Michelle. Monica writes, says, thanking you, Psychic Bob, for your wonderful energy to the planet. Thank you. That's really sweet. I love to do this. I really do. It's a joy for me. My question is my move to the beach a good choice for the month of July? Yeah. You know, Monica, I do think you should do that move because what I get around you right now is you've got a lot of bright yellow light. This means that you're being inspired and it's coming from the higher self. And so your vision is coming from a higher source. And I feel that you're on track with this transition. You're at a very powerful change point in your life. And I really feel like from the spring, it really starts earlier in July, it starts in June. From June all the way to December is some of the biggest growth opportunities for your life. And I feel that by moving to the beach in July, you allow yourself to receive even more blessings financially and emotionally. I get a lot of healing energy around you, and I feel like this move kind of completes an energy cycle of healing for you. So I would like you to go ahead, do that move, soak up the sun and the rays of the ocean, and let yourself have that experience. It'll be a blessing for you. Timing is right, energy's right. Good luck with that. Thanks for writing. All right, here. Next letter, Apple Goblin. That's a great name. Apple Goblin writes this, Hi, Bob. I feel so lost. I've always felt misplaced in my life, but the feeling is intensifying recently. I feel like I'm becoming dimmer and weaker. You are suffering terrorist attacks as a targeted individual, but I never see your inner strength wane. How can I be more like you and find peace in my life? Oh, thank you for that nice letter. I'm sorry you're feeling this way. You know, I have to tell you, when I step into your vibration, I get dark blue light around you. And dark blue light is a light that oftentimes signals a sense of feeling trapped and even like depressed. It's like there are no options to expand. And I don't want you to believe that about yourself, because that's not the truth. Because as a psychic, I can move beyond that. And even though at the moment it feels like that's the only light around you, I get beautiful yellow and silver light here outside of that. And yellow is the light of the higher self. Silver is the light of self-contentment and prosperity. So I do see around you some changes here. And I feel like as we get into, it's probably not going to be till about the beginning of May, but it seems like from May forward, you're breaking out of this holding pattern. You make reference to my strength as a targeted individual. Yes, it is true that I am under horrific terroristic attacks. I don't talk about it a lot here at YouTube because honestly, I don't want to give it that much power. The people that are behind the targeting programs really want to destroy all the TIs. But you see, the fact is that the spirit light within me is greater than anything they can do to me physically. And even if they succeed in destroying my body, which they've come very close to, I don't let my inner light die, because that's what I focus on. You have to understand that inner strength comes from knowing who you are and what you believe. Knowing that you are a child of God, the child of the divine, will give you a lot of power. And I want you to spend a whole day meditating on the fact that you are part of divinity. Now, you say that you feel weak here, and I can understand that. And let me tell you, there have been times, even in my targeting, when I felt like giving up and weak. But you know, YouTube has given me such a strength because so many people here love me and support me. And what you want to do is reach out and connect to those around you. Write to people at YouTube, form friendships with them, get to know them, because they will help you. But you have to make some effort. And I want everybody to reach out to Apple Goblin and let them know that they're not alone. Okay? Apple Goblin, put a comment in below so people can find your channel. You're going to come through this time. I know you say you're becoming dimmer and weaker, but I actually don't see that. I see that as a momentary reality. But as we get into May, everything shifts to brighter and stronger for you. So it's not going to stay that way. But You know, part of the reason why I'm able to be strong is, one, as I said, I know who I am. Two, I also know that I have a calling. You see, being a psychic is not just some job I do to make money. It's a sacred core value. It's why I've come to the earth. And you've come to the earth with great many spiritual gifts. The thing is, we're in a world that many times doesn't recognize or value the spiritual. But don't let that deter you, because for every person who rejects you and thinks you're terrible, there are 10 waiting to hear your blessing and to receive your help. And so I learned early on in my work as a spiritual worker that it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality of what you do. And I figure if my spiritual work saves one person, just one, from despair, one person lives and doesn't give in to suicide, doesn't give up because of what I've done, then it makes it worth it all. All the struggle, all the late nights, all the times of working when I'm tired, it's worth it. So you don't count numbers as success or money in the bank. You count the quality of what you do. And you have a lot of talent I see around you. I get around you a very strong gift of communication. And I'd like you to start working on writing. I feel that there's a writer within you that wants to tell a great and profound story. And if you can do that, you will begin to see your gifts and talents. I also pick up around you Archangel Michael, who's one of your spirit guides and protectors. And I want you to start calling on him each day, because he's going to give you that strength. When you feel dark and dim and weak, he carries a flaming sword of light. Let him go before you and illuminate your path, and talk to him. Talk to the spirit world. Oh, I know it sounds crazy, but they will answer and they'll help you. I talk to Fletcher every day. Not always nicely, I have to admit. But I do. I talk to him. I talk to Rose. I talk to Edgar Casey. I talk to all the great spirits. And you start talking to heaven, heaven will talk to you. Okay? So I don't want you to give into despair. I want you to give into transition, to growth, and to knowing who you are. So as you meditate each day on that divine light within, you will grow more bright, because you are from the light. I'm sending prayers for you. Listen, put a comment here below. Help people find you and connect with you. I'm sending you blessings. I hope that helps. Blessings to you. Well, guys, listen, that's all the time I got for letters. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being patient with me today. I think you guys rock. And keep it here. As you know, I'm traveling, so what's our Wednesday? We're going to have Wiccan Wednesday. We're going to probably talk about some travel magic. I think that would be fun. All right, guys. Listen, keep it here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, may you always blessed be.